there's a lot of reasons why the Boston Bruins suck right now. Welcome back to the channel. Yup, the Boston Bruins have been humbled early in this season. They are off to a historic start for their franchise, and not in a good way. And honestly, it's not that bad. So Bruins fans, chill out, all right? Like, I'm sure you guys will have a bounce back. I'm going to talk about a couple stats today that are really important. I found really important for you guys that maybe you haven't seen already. Everyone's jumping off a cliff saying fire Montgomery already. I don't think that's the answer whatsoever. I'm going to point out some details as to why that is a bad idea. But yeah, the Bruins off to not a great start historically for their franchise. They're now 5-6-1, fourth in the Atlantic. They just picked up a win today against the Philadelphia Flyers, smashing my prediction pretty badly. But that's okay. That's why they're called predictions. And honestly, I really don't even care. But they are now 1 point. I'm sorry. They're tied with Detroit right now in fifth place. They're 1 point behind Ottawa. They're 2 points behind Toronto. And then there's a couple points between Florida and Tampa Bay right now. So they could catch up. But they need to do it now. And they really need to put the foot on the gas. Because, like I said, there's a couple stats we're going to take a look at right now that will prove that there is hope on the horizon for you Bruins fans. All right? Let's go take a look at it really quick. All right, here we are. The Bruins, 5-6-1, 11 points. Most losses to start a season since the 2017-2018 season where they went 4-4-2. It's not too bad. It's not too far off. It's not horrible, but that's the last time they've had a bad start. Right now, currently this year, they're the highest penalized team in the league with 53 penalties. They're one above. They have one more, I should say, than my San Jose Sharks, who are an undisciplined hockey team. They're a young team, so I'm not going to talk about my Sharks. But that's a stat that's important for you Bruins fans out there, that you guys are the most penalized team in the league right now. As of tonight, as of right now, it's almost 7 o'clock. My Sharks are about to play. So we'll see how that shapes up. You guys are averaging, let's call it 4.5 penalties per game. You're in the box a lot. That's one of my slides I have off to the side for you guys. We're going to talk about in depth a little bit later. The PK, not hot either. Ranked 19th, 12 for 53. Not great. Not great. Power play, horrible. It's pretty bad for the Boston Bruins. Ranked 26th, 7 for 49 on the power play. Not a good look for the Boston Bruins and their fans. Let's take a look at your guys' lineup because it's pretty interesting to see these numbers from certain players that are on your roster right now. Brad Marchand, Lindholm, and Pastrnak. No surprise there. The first line is doing what they should be doing, although they could be scoring more. Right now, 11 goals, 16 assists, 27 points combined between these two. The shocker, though, is it's not the second line that's doing second best on the team. Who is it? It's the fourth line. The fourth line of the Boston Bruins is the second best, and I almost want to say the best scoring line for the Boston Bruins at the current moment right now. Combined, 8 goals, 12 assists, 20 points for these guys. If the Boston Bruins can get goal scoring between all lines or from all their lines come playoff time, and if this fourth line can keep this up, the Bruins could be pretty damn scary. But right now, no one is scared of the Boston Bruins. People want to point fingers and say, hey, where was Jeremy Swayman in training camp? He's the reason why we're losing. He's not. Both of your goalies are playing pretty good. But the team defense, the team that's in front of them, is playing like crap. That's just the bottom line. Between both these goalies, 3.13 goals against. Let's just call it 3 goals. Save percentage average 8.69. Not horrible, but not great. Again, if the team in front of them played better, both these goalies would be having way better games than this. Yeah, like I said, we got some stats to talk about, some pretty in-depth stats. I had to go looking for these things, so let's jump over and talk about these ones really quick. All right, like I said, I went down a rabbit hole to find out where the problems for the Boston Bruins were, and I found a couple that are pretty evident to me. Again, if you're a diehard Bruin fan, you might already know this. I don't watch games, the Boston Bruin games like that. I watch my team. But going down the rabbit hole, I had to find where the holes were in the Boston Bruins. And I think I found them. All right, this is the overall stats for the Boston Bruins. We already talked about that. We don't need to go there. What we do need to talk about is your first period performance. You guys are getting smashed on in the first period. First period, goals against, 15. Compared to your first period goals for, 10. The other stat that's really important here, losses after trailing in the first. Trailing first. Right here. Losses trailing first. 4. The Bruins, I went back, I looked at all the games that you guys have played. And everything that is pretty damn obvious is that you guys lose the game pretty much in the first period and you're playing catch up after. This team cannot afford to be doing that. No team can afford to be doing that. But the Bruins specifically, because the way the Bruins are built right now, they are not a finesse team. And they're really not even I would say, physical team. I think the old homage of the big bad Bruins, that culture that you guys have over there, it's dope. Don't get me wrong. It's sick. I can appreciate that. But the way the NHL is working right now, it is not that physical game like that right now. Not in the we're not in the playoffs right now. It is in the playoffs, but to some degree. But it's not like that all year long. The signings that you guys had made, the Bruins had made, Zadorov specifically, was a question mark that I really had. I mean, it's a cool signing. It's a great signing because Zadorov had himself a good playoff as well last year for Vancouver. But the Bruins didn't lose against Florida the last 2 years because they were out physicaled. They lost because, one, Florida was just that much better of a team. They got hot. Was it not last year, but the year before, they got hot at the right time. And they outworked the Boston Bruins. The skill level from the Panthers last year, specifically last year, was way better than the Boston Bruins. The Boston Bruins went 7 against Toronto last year. I think that's kind of where the measuring stick was last year for the Bruins, was can we beat Toronto, and same for Toronto, can we beat Boston? But you didn't look past that, or the management staff didn't look past that. The finesse of this game now, currently, it's finesse. It's not physicality. So the Zadorov signing, to me, it looked cool on paper. It looked cool in the headlines. Zadorov looks good wearing that Boston Bruins logo. But for me, he doesn't fit in the regular season. He fits a playoff pitcher perfectly if he can stay out of the box. But he's having issues right now staying out of the box. And that brings us probably to our next slide here. That's not it. Here it is. Time on ice, 5-on-5, time on ice. The Boston Bruins have played 44, let's call it 44 and a half minutes. Let's call it 45 minutes. 45 minutes, 5-on-5. That's basically almost one whole period of you guys in the box. How many minutes are in a period? 20. How many periods is it? 3. 60 minutes. Right now, you guys are at 44 minutes. 45 minutes, 5-on-5. You guys are losing games in the first period. You're taking stupid penalties because, I don't want to say you guys. I keep saying you guys, but the Boston Bruins keep taking penalties and having to fight their way back, being pretty much demolished in the first period and taking undisciplined penalties Yeah, you're going to lose games like that. So it goes back to my argument. Is like, is it coaching? No, it's not coaching. I mean, the discipline part probably, but ultimately it's on the players. Stop taking stupid penalties and stay out of the box. Give your team a chance to win. Like, play better team defense in the first period. When you hit that ice, that puck drops, you got to know that you can't out hit. You can't be physical every single game like that. That's a good format for the playoffs. I will agree with that, but not in the regular season. Because the Boston Bruins right now are on the verge of not even making the playoffs the way they're playing right now. American Thanksgiving is coming up pretty soon. Everyone knows what the stat is, or I would hope a lot of people know that if you're not in a playoff position come American Thanksgiving, I think the stat is like your 76-77% chance that you won't even make the playoffs. So right now the Boston Bruins they're playing a little Russian roulette with that right now. It's not looking good. It's not. Looking at the goal scoring for you guys, again, we kind of went over it a little bit already, but again, I'm looking up and down this lineup and I'm wondering where the hell the goal scoring is coming from. We know Pastrnak and we know what he's capable of doing. He's not like a super on fire right now, but he's one of the highlights of the Boston Bruins, which is no shocker to anyone. Marchand, older guy. Can he keep up in the league? It seems like age is starting to kind of catch up with him a little bit. He had a bunch of surgeries over the past summer, so is that affecting him? Who knows? And then we're looking at, let's look at the plus minus. Again, there's that fourth line. It's in the top of the list there. You look up and down that lineup, and it just fizzles off. It's not great. It's really not great. Again, the goal scoring. Where is it coming from? Elias Lindholm. What is going on? I mean, let's see. Does the highlight show up on? Yeah, there it is. 2 goals, 5 assists, 7 points. One of the other big signings that just doesn't seem to be paying off. And to be fair, it seems like a lot of signings in the NHL right now, all the big signings are not paying off for a lot of players. You look at Nashville, they spend some good money, and look where they're at. Like, don't feel bad, Bruins fans. You know, it takes time. It's just that for you guys, historically, you guys have always started great, and it's just, where is this? What's going on here? All right. Let's go back and talk about the schedule coming up. We're going to pull up the schedule for you guys. If I can get out of the way. There we go. And we're going to look at your next 10 games and see and just discuss how well can you guys do in the next 10 games. You guys got the Kraken coming up tomorrow night. They're going to come off a back-to-back. Well, it will be a back-to-back. They will play the Senators here in the next few minutes. So it'll be a back-to-back for both of you guys. And the Kraken are no slouch. I would say they're in the mix probably just as much and as evenly as you guys are. And then you guys got the Maple Leafs. You guys have the Maple Leafs number. There's no secret about that. Can you win that game? Yes. Can they win that game? Yes. We'll see how that one goes. And then the Flames come to town for you guys. The Flames have been playing pretty good. So we'll see how that one turns out. And again, the Senators have been playing pretty good. So out of those 4 games, let's go 5 games. Let's go to the Blues. You guys will be at the Blues after that. And the Blues just had an injury today with Phil Broberg going down. So who knows what that situation is going to be. They're kind of limping around at the moment, although they are working in the Toronto Maple Leafs tonight. So who knows? But out of those 5 games, I'm going to say you're going to take an L to the Kraken. You'll get a win against the Maple Leafs. You will get a win against the Flames. You'll take an L to the Senators, and you'll probably get a win against the Blues. So not bad out of those 5. And then you got the Stars. The Stars are definitely no slouch. They're a playoff team, probably a Stanley Cup team if you really take a step back and take a look at it. So that one's going to be tough. And then you got the Blues again. Again, we'll see how that one turns out. Blue Jackets. The Blue Jackets got a walk today, so that could be an easy one for you guys as well. The Utah Hockey Club, the rematch. we'll see how that one pans out. Utah's been playing hot and cold. So who knows? But they do have that win against you guys. So who knows? We'll see how that one plays out. And then the Red Wings. So it's not crazy to say that you guys can't catch up or stay afloat right now. But what the issue for me is you guys as a team, your team, let's get rid of this thing. Your team has to stay out of the box. They've got to find goal scoring. It's not on the goalies and it's not on the coaching. Put that to bed. If you guys were to fire Montgomery right now, I think you guys would probably even be doing worse or will do worse if you guys do fire him. If you want to point fingers at anyone, point him at your management staff. Sweeney and Neely. I definitely believe that they tried to build this team based on the big bad Bruins. And that stuff just does not work at this time of year. The undisciplined play from the Bruins is costing you guys. You're playing from behind by playing bad team defense. And it's just that window that you guys had. It's the window that we had as Sharks fans. We had that for a while too. It's closing, man. Like it's coming to a close. You still have time. Your team still has time to keep that thing open. But I feel like there's going to be some trades coming along. Maybe mid-season, maybe next summer. I don't know. But something needs to happen for the Bruins fans, for the Bruins staff to stay afloat. Do me a favor, if you think I'm smoking something, if you think I'm off base, let me know that in the comments because I don't watch the Bruins like that. I do watch them, but I don't pay attention to them all that much like that. So let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments. And if you're digging the channel, hit that like button for me. Hit that subscribe button. I know some of these stats are very proving. Hopefully you guys can see the writing on the wall just as much as I can, just from looking at these stats. So hopefully the Bruins will turn around come Thanksgiving. There's still hope. There's definitely still hope. And hopefully you guys don't lose your mind in the meantime. I'm out of here, boys. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.